How's everybody doing this weekend? Hope everybody had a great weekend. Mine was pretty good. Got to ride Gia, so that's always a good weekend when I get to take her out for a spin. So anyway, so listen, I'm gonna run another episode of Nick the Cookin Dick. I love saying that. Anyway, so here's a little backstory. A good friend of mine, known for a long, long time. He went up to Alaska on a little fishing expedition to fish for halibut. Um, I don't know how well he did yet. I'll talk to him later on about it. But anyway, Bill, this one's kind of for you. So anyway, so obviously tonight we're making halibut. So yeah, I went over to Major Market and I picked up about half a pound of Alaskan halibut. I'm not a big fan of local halibut. It's okay, but if you can get Alaskan halibut, it's much better. More expensive too. At I think it was 39 bucks a pound. So I got a half a pound. That's a pretty decent sized steak. So I'm gonna make that with a beer blanc lemon sauce. I'm gonna put the halibut over a bed of wild rice, long grain wild rice. Just some seasoning I add to that, and I'm also gonna do a sweet pea and ricotta puree. Pure, the mushy stuff. Yeah. I haven't made the ricotta sweet pea puree before, so should be good. Anyway, so I got all my ingredients out. I haven't prepped everything yet, but I'm going to show you the ingredients, and then as I go along, I'll show you part of how I'm prepping each ingredient and getting stuff ready. So let me turn the camera around and introduce you to the ingredients and all the stars of the show. So hold on one second. Okay, there we go. This big old hunk of junk of thing is the butter for the beer blanc, the sauce for the fish. We have a little more than a half a cup of long grain rice, frozen peas. That's what the recipe called for, along with the ricotta cheese to make the puree. We have fresh carrots, got a red onion. This will be for parts of the fish dish you'll see. And this is the star of the show right here. This is my fish. So as I start to prep each and every dish, and of course back here we have roasted garlic infused oil. Oh, and hold on, I almost forgot. We all know what this is for, clarified butter. That's what I'm going to cook the fish in. So anyway, so these are all the ingredients that we're going to be playing with tonight for the most part. Less the seasoning for the rice. Let me turn this back around. Anyway, those are all the ingredients, and I'll walk you through the steps on what I do and how I get to where I'm going, and then we'll go from there. So give me a minute to put some stuff together, and then we'll get the show on the road. All right, enjoy the commercial. I forgot who the commercial is anyway, so enjoy the commercial. I'll be right back. How'd they say it? Do you guys ever remember the Gong Show? We'll be right back with more stuff. Anyway, I'll be right back. Hang in there. Welcome back. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deal with the fish. I'm going to prep that to get that ready to go in the pan, which will happen a little bit later. But for now, let me show you what I do. So I'm going to be pan searing this. Okay, so I'm going to need a really hot pan and zero moisture on the fish. Otherwise, it just boils. Okay, so let me show you what I do to prep my fish for pan sear. Turn this around. Okay, that's my fish. That's a paper towel. I pat dry everything, and then what I do is I take another paper towel, I put it over the fish, and this is where it's going to sit until I'm ready for it. And just before I put it in the pan, I'll add my seasoning, just salt and pepper basically. Probably not so much pepper, but just salt. So this is just going to continue to pull all the moisture out of there. Let me turn this back around to me. So the less moisture you have in the fish, the crispier the sear is going to be. So I just let that paper towel sit on there, and it'll just suck the moisture right out of that steak. So steak, fish steak, the halibut. Um, so let me move on to prepping some more stuff, and I'll be right back. Enjoy this commercial. Be right back. Haha, welcome back. Hey, so anyway, I got the vegetables ready for what I'm going to do with those, and I'll explain that right now. So let me turn the camera on and show you what I've got going on and what I've done. So these are just small, thin carrots if you can find them. This was a red onion. Unfortunately, my mandolin doesn't accommodate a big red onion like this, and I could not find a smaller one, so I had to cut the red onion in half so that I could thin slice it on my mandolin. So unfortunately, that's what I got. Anyway, the carrots, I quartered some of them, like this guy here. I quartered him. Some of the other small ones, they only needed to be done in half. So the next step for this is going to be to take my olive oil, and I'm going to add copious amounts of olive oil to my vegetables. Now I'll take a brush and I will brush that all in like this, just like that, so we get a nice good coverage over all the vegetables. So you know what I'm doing here. I'm going to put you on pause and I'll come back when I'm finished. Hold on. Okay, so I've got the olive oil spread out all over the carrots and the onions, and I'm going to add some salt. I'm going to see this. There we are. We managed to pull this off last time, so you can kind of see what's going on here. So now we just take the salt, and we're going to salt what we just oiled. Carrots and onions, so you can use a little bit of extra salt on them. So let me show you what we got going on here. Let me turn this. So if you'll notice, I'm not crowding all the, well, the onions you have to, it's no big deal, but as far as the carrots are concerned, I'm not crowding them. You want to have some space between them so that heat can get in there and really soften them up and cook them. So my oven is set at 400 degrees. Yeah, 400. Woohoo, it's hot. Well, it's set for 400. It's not quite at 400 yet. And my stupid oven doesn't tell you where it's at in the process of getting from 0 to 400. So it could be 2, 3, 400. I don't know. When it beeps, it'll be 400. So anyway, we're going to wait until we hear the beep. And then we'll toss those in. So next up, I have a couple more things to prep. So hold on, I'll be right back. Pause. Watch a commercial. Welcome back. Alright, so the oven hit 400. I dropped the carrots and the onions in for 18 minutes, and then I'll check them with a toothpick after that. You don't want them like stupid soggy, overdone, but just, firm. So kind of like a al dente for noodles. So next I'm going to make the sauce. So if you've never made a beurre blanc sauce, it's pretty stupid easy. You can mess it up though. You can break the sauce, and by break it I mean if you add the butter and the temperature is too hot, it really, hey, perfect example. Remember when I made the clarified butter and we heated the butter up to release all the fats and stuff that was in it, all that crap that boiled up and bubbled up and out? You do not want that to happen here. So you keep the temperature below 130 degrees as you add the chunks of butter to the hot wine. We're going to reduce this. We're going to take 1 cup of, I'm using a white Zin. I kind of like the flavor, and I think it might pair well with a good whitefish, so I'm going to give it a shot. Normally it's what's the white wine called? Oh my god, dude, I have vapor lock right now. Yeah, forget it. I'm using this 1 cup. Toss it in the thing, and you want to heat it up until it reduces down to about 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to get started, and then I'll get back to you guys in a moment. Don't worry, I'm not going to drink this. I am not a wine drinker. Anyway, I'll be right back. Pause. Okay, so I started making the beurre blanc sauce, and I will bring you in on where I'm at. So I added 1 cup of beurre blanc to the pan with some lemon juice. Currently it's doing this, exactly what it's supposed to do. So Once that reduces down to where I want it, then I'm gonna add these. That's my butter. It's 1 cup. It's a full stick of butter. You cut that down into 1/2-inch cubes. And if you're a smart guy like me, you would put the cubes in the freezer and let them chill. Because if it's not cold enough, you can break it. And by break it, I mean that hole splits up. Then it just looks like a oily separated mess, and it's kind of nasty. So this is actually reducing quite nice. A lot of beer blanc recipes call for shallots. I'm not a big fan, so I left the shallots out. If you're gonna make them, then now would be the time you would put the shallots in and cook that in when you're reducing it. And once it's all complete, then you'd strain it out. Pain in the ass. Just don't put them in. I'm not putting mine in. And mine still tastes just as good as yours, so I don't care. Let me show you what's going on here. As you can see, that 1 cup is now a lot less than 1 cup. It's reducing quite nice. I'll give it a couple more minutes and then I'll start adding the butter, and I'll bring you back on that one so you guys can watch how that works. Okay. Oh, you want to see how these little dudes down here are working? Hold on. Oh, sizzling! Love the sound of sizzle. Anyway, sit tight. Watch commercial. I'll be back. Hey, so while the sauce is doing its thing, I'm going to start my rice. So I'll show you how I do the rice. When I'm cooking long rice, the way I'm about to do it, what I do is I take a whopping ass teaspoon of butter. Let me turn this around. There we go. Nice fat teaspoon of butter. Maybe a little more than that. No one here is counting. So, what I'll do is I will get that nice and hot. I'll check over here on the beer blanc sauce. It's doing nice. It's reducing. Okay. So we'll get this butter nice and hot, and then I will drop the grains down in there and start the rice process cooking. Once that's done, then let's see. I have 1/2 cup of rice, so that means I'll need. I'm gonna do 1 2/3 cups of water, and that's what I'll cook in there, and then I'll let that simmer. I'll throw in the seasonings that I put together, and I'll let that simmer. That's doing okay. It's getting there. Get back around here. Hi, it's me again. All right, so I got the rice. Let me show you. Okay, and then dump that in. Give it a good mix. Get some butter all over these dudes. Yeah, flipping rice all over the place. Alright, so I'll let that cook for a few minutes. I'll get back to you in just a few. That's going okay. Those dudes are going awesome. So I'm gonna put you on pause again. I'll be back, I promise. Don't be sad. I promise, I'll be back. With good stuff. Hold on. Ha! Told you I'd be back. Stop crying. So hey, check it out. Let me turn this around. That's been cooking in the butter. Yeah, see it's starting to foam. So now I want to add my water. So I'll kick that temp down a little bit. I got the water sort of kind of all measured out here. This is going to be sketchy, so let me put you on pause, because if something bad happens, I don't want you laughing at me. You can laugh later, so hold on. Good thing you didn't see that. Alright, so we got 1 2/3. One more second, hold on. Alright, there's all my seasoning. We have oregano, thyme, parsley, some salt, a little bit of smoked paprika, onion powder, and a couple other season things. So anyway, that goes on simmer now. And look what we got going on over here. Oh, look what's done. Cool. Put you on pause. I'll be right back.